What if I told you the keys to the universe weren't some complex, hidden equation, but were actually hiding in plain sight inside three simple numbers? Today, we're diving deep into the 369 method. It's this incredible manifestation tool inspired by none other than the brilliant Nikola Tesla, who was convinced these numbers held the secret code to reality itself.
And this quote right here, this is everything. This wasn't just some throwaway line for Tesla, it was the bedrock of his whole philosophy. He truly believed that these numbers weren't just symbols on a page, they were a direct line, a kind of telephone, to the creative force of the entire universe. So let's unpack what that could mean for you.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at Tesla's own personal obsession with these numbers. Then, we'll explore this so-called divine code he thought they represented. And then, the best part, we're going to give you a super practical step-by-step guide to actually use the 369 method yourself.
Okay, so you gotta ask, right? Why would a guy who basically invented the modern world, the guy who gave us AC electricity, become so completely fixated on the numbers 3, 6, and 9? Well, for Tesla, this was way more than just a little quirk. He saw something profound, a deep connection between these numbers and the very fabric of our reality.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This wasn't just a theory he wrote down in a notebook. He lived it every single day. We're talking about walking around a building 3 times before he'd even go inside, or using exactly 18 napkins. His entire life was like a living experiment with the energy of these numbers.
But, this was so much more than superstition for him. Tesla was absolutely convinced he'd stumbled upon a hidden pattern, a kind of divine code that was woven into the universe itself. He believed this code was the real key to understanding everything, from how planets move to how our own DNA is built.
Okay, so this idea comes from something called vortex math. Now, to put it simply, it suggests that most numbers, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, they describe the physical stuff, the things we can see and touch in our world. But 3, 6, and 9, they're different. They represent the energy behind it all, the invisible blueprint that shapes and governs everything.
And get this is the part that blows my mind. The atoms that make up you, me, this screen, everything, they're 99.999% empty space. But it's not really empty. It's a buzzing field of pure energy. And Tesla believed that the frequencies of 3, 6, and 9 were basically the operating system for this energy field, the very foundation of our physical world.
And honestly, once you start looking for this code, you start seeing it absolutely everywhere. It's in how we measure time, how we understand geometry. It's even in the structure of our own DNA. And what about all the famous trinities throughout history? Is it all just a massive coincidence, or is it a clue to something much, much deeper?
All right, so that's the why. We get the theory behind the numbers now, so let's flip this from a profound idea into a practical tool that you can actually start using today to shape your own reality.
Here is the method in a nutshell. It's incredibly simple, but don't let that fool you. Step 1, you write down 3 clear affirmations for what you want. Step 2, you're going to look at them and say them 6 times a day. And then step 3, and this is the absolute key, each time you do it, you spend 9 seconds. Just 9 seconds, really, truly feeling what it feels like to already have it. That's it. That's the 369.
This is where the real magic happens. It brings us right back to what Tesla said. Think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Those 9 seconds aren't about just wishing. They're about you generating the emotional energy, the actual vibration of your desire. You stop just thinking about it, and for a moment, you become a vibrational match to it.
Now, to really make this work, you can't just do it here and there. You need focused consistency. And the best way to do that is to commit to a dedicated 9-day cycle. This is how you build momentum and really lock in that new intention. So, this is what your 9 days are going to look like. Day 1, you just start. Simple as that. By day 3, trust me, you're building real momentum in that energy field. By day 6, you're solidifying that new reality, making it your new normal. And after 9 days, your job is to just let it go and trust the process. You've sent the signal out loud and clear. Now it's time to be open to how the universe responds.
So what does this all mean? I mean, we've peeked into the mind of a genius. We've talked about a hidden code in the universe, and we've walked through a practical method to tap into it. But the big question is, do we really have that much influence over our own lives? At the end of the day, whether this is the key to the universe that Tesla was talking about, that's a question only you can answer for yourself. The theory is fascinating for sure, but the real power is in actually doing it.
The magnificence of 3, 6, and 9 isn't something to just be understood, it's something to be experienced. So the only question left is, what will you create?